How to deal with narcissists. Narcissist has become a buzzword we love to toss around, inspiring a frenzy of articles, blog posts, online quizzes, and memes, also a swarm of accusations. Nearly everybody thinks they know one. There is the image-obsessed friend who is in love with their own reflection, the arrogant boss who gloats over their own ideas, and the two-timing ex. But do you really know a narcissist, or have you been using it as a catch-all phrase for someone who has a moderate dose of these tendencies? A personality disorder that exists on a spectrum. Extreme narcissism hosts a maze of trickery that transcends your run-of-the-mill self-absorption. If you lean in too closely, a narcissist becomes an energy vampire, making a circus of your life, the kind that causes you to perform acrobatics in order to please them. The most common traits that narcissists possess are dismissiveness, entitlement, and grandiosity, including blatant defiance of your boundaries, jealousy and resentment when someone else captures the spotlight, and outrageous expectations for how their needs should be met, while grasping for anyone to cloak them in validation, of course. So, if you suspect you have a narcissist in your circle, or might be in a one-sided relationship with one, whether or not the dynamic feels toxic, read on. We talk to the experts to unbox what narcissism really is, the charm, the gaslighting, the seduction, the injury, and the twisted truth, as well as how to deal with a narcissistic person. Determine which type you're dealing with. Vulnerable narcissists don't feel particularly good about themselves at heart. In contrast to grandiose narcissists, they're less out there with their emotions, and so you might not realize when they're undercutting you or getting in your way. If you're trying to put people in your family or on your work team to best use, the grandiose narcissist might be your best ally, as long as you can get that person on board with your overall group's goals. Acknowledge your annoyance. As noted above, narcissists can be antagonistic and get under your skin. If you're trying to get something done, and one person is always interrupting or trying to shine the spotlight on himself or herself, recognizing where your frustration is coming from can help give you the strength you need to put a stop to it. Appreciate where the behavior comes from. Vulnerable narcissists need to make themselves feel better about themselves, which is why they can become sneaky and undercutting. They may question your authority just to create mischief. Once you recognize that they are coming from a place of insecurity, you can provide them with just enough reassurance to get them to settle down and focus on what needs to be done. Too much reassurance and you'll fan their egocentric flames, but the right amount will allow them to calm down and get to the task at hand. Evaluate the context. Narcissism is not an all-or-nothing personality trait. Some situations may elicit a person's insecurities more than others. Let's say a woman was turned down for a promotion she wanted very much, and now must continue to work with the person who got the job. Her insecurity will only worsen with time, leading her to become defensively narcissistic, vindictive, and spiteful. If you know a person like this, it's important to remember that the situation helped create the monster with whom you must now interact. Maintain a positive outlook. If you are dealing with narcissists who derive pleasure from watching others suffer, then seeing the pain they cause will only egg them on to more aggressive counter behavior. Don't look ruffled, even if you're feeling annoyed, and eventually that behavior will diminish in frequency. Furthermore, by keeping the previous tips in mind, you may be able to help ease the situation so things actually improve. Keep your sense of humor. Calling a narcissist's bluff may mean that you ignore the person, but it might also mean that you meet that bluff with a laugh at least once in a while. Without being cruel about it, you can point to the inappropriateness of the person's egocentric behavior with a smile or joke. This would be particularly appropriate for the grandiose type of narcissist, who will probably find it entertaining and possibly instructive. Recognize that the person may need help. Because some narcissists truly have low self-esteem and profound feelings of inadequacy, it's important to recognize when they can benefit from professional intervention. Despite the belief that personality is immutable, psychotherapy research shows that people can change even long-standing behaviors. Bolstering the individual's self-esteem may not be something you can tackle on your own, but it is something you can work on with outside help.